Hey there guys, my name is Adrenaline, aka the Alone Snorlax, and today I'm going to do a Pokebank update to my battle tree guide, or the Pokemon that I suggested that you should use. Obviously the Pokebank will be here in about a week's time, so you have some time to prepare the mons that you want to use. Some of you want to use like Blaziken and Protean, Greninja and things like that, so of course we'll have things like Gliscor returning. I'm not telling you to use Gliscor, but one of the Pokemon I'm going to tell you to prepare is Durant. Now this Truant Durant, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know of this strategy. You have entrainment, choice scarf of Truant. You basically give them Truant and then you switch out and then you set up with something and then you protect the next turn and then it activates Truant, so then you get the next one. You basically set up to max and then you just sweep everything. So the idea of this video is going to be giving you 12 idea setup sweepers to use with the Durant AI manipulation, and then I'll be giving you 6 examples as like the last Pokemon, because you'll be using this strategy in singles. I will be uploading some double strategies once Pokebank actually hits and I can test them myself first, but 12 setup sweeper ideas and then a late game sweeper in a lot of 6. So we'll get straight into them. Obviously one of the best ones arguably is Dragonite. This isn't necessarily Pokebank. You can go for extreme speed if you really want it, which is Pokebank, but the idea is just to Dragon Dance and protect. You go for HP investment because it helps you live pretty much every ice move, along with multi-scale. Lumberry is of course for the outrage confusion, and if we get frozen or put to sleep as well. Aegislash is another great setup sweeper. It can also stay in its shield form and then go afterwards, and it can tank a lot of hits. You can again go Lumberry or you can go leftovers. I don't see the point in weakness policy. Weakness policy was quite popular in the Battle Maison if you want running a Durant. This is kind of like it works kind of idea. I'm not saying Breloom is amazing, but it's really slow. Priority, like if something else is faster and it uses quick attack, then you're probably going to go down, especially Mega Pinsir, which OHKOs even if it's at like -2. Mega Beedrill I can see being really good. You can get to +6. It's really fast. You run max speed Jolly, and yeah, it's only really weak to priority, so adaptability +6, 150 base attack is strong. Then we have 2 different Mega Lucarios. Obviously we can set up for free with the Sword Stance, and then we have Bullet Punch and Close Combat. Or we can run the special side, which is Nasty Plot, and we can run Aura Sphere and Flash Cannon. Of course you're giving up some priority, but these both hit hard. It's kind of like your choice. So some more sweepers are, I think these are actually my favourite ones because they're Dragon Dance. I think Dragon Dance is going to be the most consistent because you can build bulky in your EVs, and then you can of course get speed naturally through Dragon Dance. It does take maybe a few more turns because obviously Sword Stance is like 3 turns max to get to full, same with Nasty Plot. But if you go like 4 Dragon Dances or 5 or 6 even, you're going to outspeed pretty much everything. You're going to bang out pretty much everything. Feraligatr is one of those Pokemon that could probably do this from like +3 or 4. Life Orb, Sheer Force, Waterfall and Return is probably the best coverage you're going to get. You could run Crunch, but it's kind of what you would run on Mega Gyarados. I have Protect twice, I'm stupid. Yeah, so you would run pretty much the same thing, although this has Mold Breaker. I'm not sure what it would really be for unless you ran Earthquake. So Earthquake would be nice against, I don't know, Hydreigon, you know, Levitate users. Rotom, I guess. Yeah, it would be good against Rotom. Rotom Wash, I think. You know, the double team one. Holy shit, that thing is obnoxious. So yeah, you run 252 HP and attack in a Dragon Dance set, and then obviously you get speed through Dragon Dance. Another one is Charizard X. Now, you can run Flare Blitz for the damage, you can run Fire Punch to not have this recoil, but you're giving up a lot of base power, so I would just run Flare Blitz. Remember that if you're using this in singles, you only need to take out 3 Pokemon, so you can pretty much trade this for 2.5 every time, and then just use your late game cleanup mon just to finish every battle, so I would say that's worth. Of course, it's the same sort of thing. These are all adamant because we're not trying to outspeed, we're just trying to get as much attack out of our Dragon Dances and then get enough speed from the Dragon Dancers themselves just to outspeed everything. And they're also bulky enough to take priority. So I decided to put in 2 Calm Mind users. I think it's too slow. A lot of the Calm Mind users are slow. There's no point running Trick Room if you're already running Calm Mind and Protect. So one of them is Mega Slowbro. It of course can't be crit. Has decent base stats, 180 base defense. We run max in defense. You could also just run this into special attack just because 180 defense is so much. But you can go as high as you want with Calm Mind and then just leave this uninvested as well. It is more of your choice. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just, you know, these are suggestions. And of course the other one, also a water type, is Suicune. You could run the Crocune set, you know, Calm, Rest, but you just wouldn't be able to run Sleep Talk. I think it's a bit too stally though, and you would only use one move, which would obviously be Surf. You're not looking to scald things for the burn, you're just looking to KO them, and the extra 10 base damage is going to be nice. You don't want to miss with Hydro Pump. So that's that. And then I thought long and hard about Belly Drum users. I thought about Snorlax. Honestly, I wanted to put Snorlax in this video like a few times. It loses to things like Unnerved Tyranitar though, and a few other things. You know, it's just really slow, and Battle Tree really preys upon your weaknesses, and Snorlax has quite a bad physical weakness to fighting attacks, and they will prey on that. So I decided to choose Hariyama instead. It has high HP. It gets access to Belly Drum. I think it's through breeding with Snorlax. I can't speak anymore. I think it's from breeding with Snorlax, but don't quote me on that. And then of course Protect, Bullet Punch, and Earthquake. I kind of had a bit of fun with this and just put Flame Orb with Guts. You don't have to do that. You could of course run Thick Fat or Sheer Force. I don't think Sheer Force would actually have any use, so maybe Thick Fat and a berry, you know, like Figgy Berry, Citrus Berry, just to offset the Belly Drum cost. But yeah, it's like a fun little set. But anyway, we'll go on to the late game, you know, like cleanup crews. Pokemon like Kartana are great for this, obviously the Sash Kartana. You can run Swords Dance if you want. You could just run another attack. It gets like, does it get, where is it? Let's have a look. Physical, power, yeah, it gets like X Scissor, Night Slash, Psycho Cut, Aerial Ace. But if you can get off a SD and then just bang everything out, then why not, eh? It gets really high attack and speed. Doesn't need to be perfect IVs, it just needs to be in, obviously, attack, defense, and speed if you can get them. Its coverage and its base stats is just really strong. It lives a hit, gets a beast boost, so I would only really Swords Dance if you're like behind and you need to risk it. But I would say that this is probably the best like third Pokemon in slot. I've heard that a lot of people have had success with it when something's gone wrong, so yeah, try that out. But of course, Protein Greninja will come about. This is the moveset I would run. It's also the one a lot of people would run. I wouldn't suggest running Physical, just because obviously the lower base stats. The move pool is good, but it's just not as good as the special move pool. We again run Surf instead of Scald for the extra base power, which in turn synergizes with Protean. It's a shame that Protean didn't change the adaptability, but then Greninja would be even more broken. So we have these two as coverage, which you can again swap out. I'm not telling you to use the set, this is just what I would use. Now this is what I actually use, the Alakazam that I used with my Psychic Terrain Tapu Lele, because obviously boosted Psychics with a Focus Sash hurts everything that doesn't resist it, and of course with Psychic types on your team you encounter a lot of Dark types. So we counter that with Dazzling Gleam and Shadow Ball for things like, you know, ghosts that would take no super effective damage from things. So like, what's this name? Spiritomb? I think Spiritomb doesn't take super effective damage from Dazzling Gleam. So we take Shadow Ball, and I run Thunder Wave just because it's my competitive one, but I never used this move slot. So you could put Energy Ball, it gets some other things. Another one that I think is decent as a revenge killer or a cleanup mon is Weavile. Of course, from the Pokebank it gets knockoff. Gets a nice powerful stab, Icicle Crash, has a chance to miss, has a chance to flinch, has a priority move in Ice Shard and coverage move goes here, so low kick, poison jab. Yeah, there is some more, but those are probably the two that I use. Another one is Sashed Gengar. It of course doesn't get Levitate anymore, but Curse Body isn't that bad, honestly. It's very strong, it's very fast. These are all very strong and very fast. That's the common theme with your third Pokemon, your cleanup Pokemon. It gets Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and I choose to run Energy Ball and Thunderbolt just because of the coverage. You can run, I think it gets Dazzling Gleam, Giga Drain, Dark Pulse, things like that, but yeah. My last one is, again, what I used. It's the Scarf Tapu Lele. You can get it with Hidden Power Fire for Scizor, or you can just choose to run Psychic and Dazzling Gleam. Admittedly, I said in my other video when I was climbing the battle tree that I only used Psychic and Dazzling Gleam. Even if I had Shadow Ball, I wouldn't have seen a reason to use it because I was coming up against a lot of things that if I couldn't hit them with a really strong Psychic, I would hit them with a Dazzling Gleam, and of course, if it even got to that point where they knocked out my Mega Salamence in the first place, they wouldn't be resisting in a lot of cases, so I could just clean them up. But anyway, like I said, I'll be doing another video once Pokebank comes out, you know, testing some strategies, giving you some more options, but hopefully you have even more options to work on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire to get ready to bring over to Gen 7. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and maybe I will see you again soon.